Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate forum to keep up to date with the community debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere. There's also a PayPal, Patreon, and crypto link in the info box below this video. Now, we're currently joined by Paul. Let's say a quick hello. How you doing, Paul?
Hello, sir. Doing pretty good.
Good to have you. Good to have you.
Finally got rid of all the rain that's flooded everybody around me and even my neighborhood. So it's finally gone. We're trying to dry up now.
It's all come our way. Miserable weather here. It was beautiful the last couple of days. It's rapidly going downhill here. Calm couple of days on the debate, wouldn't you agree?
Do what? I'm sorry, say it one more time. Oh, a couple of days, yeah, on the debate's been really good, yeah. That's a good debate.
Calm.
Good discussion.
Very, very little globe head interaction.
For sure.
Which I don't mind. You know, the first 100 or so shows, maybe even more, were totally globe head dominated. Sometimes 9 globe heads and me on the panel. Having seen everybody else on the Flat Earth side ejected by snipers. So, you know, I'm not too fussed that there's just friendlies. I said in the past, when that had happened in the past, when you end up with one side or the other on the panel, I don't know if this is true for the globe heads. I don't think anybody would ever leave the panel just to let a Flat Earther on. But certainly in the case of when it's full of Flat Earthers, somebody will say, look, if you want me to leave, I'll drop so that somebody else can join and present some evidence. But it's been a wee while since somebody in the chat said, I've got some evidence I want to present.
Well, they've got nothing, no leg to stand on. And every time you start to stand up, it gets kicked out from under them.
Right.
So I think they're learning that lesson.
It seems to me that certain people, because I get very little time to actually watch anti-Flat Earth videos, so often the people who come on, I haven't actually watched them, although I'll have heard about them more and more incrementally before they come on the show. So, for example, Bob the Science Guy got mentions here, there and everywhere prior to him coming on, and then he appeared. So I'd not watched any of his stuff. I wasn't obviously subscribed to him and didn't know what his shtick really was, other than seeing him in the chat. So I didn't know who he was. He came on, presented his stuff, and then, you know, that worked out the way it worked out. But recently it's been Craig, Fight the Flat Earth. Suddenly I'm hearing about Craig all the time, and you're like, okay, again, I don't watch Fight the Flat Earth. I see him pop up occasionally on hater videos that are pointing out various funny things that he said, which are quite amusing. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if he ends up on the show.
Well, maybe you should officially just ask him to come in the show.
I'm not going to ask him.
You want
I
to
don't
fight it?
care
Come in debate.
if he comes on. So, that's not my shtick. I don't care if you come on or not, Craig, Fight the Flat Earth. But, you know, it just seems like the pattern has been set from other people. They get wound up by the show for whatever reason, and then they find themselves compelled to come on. Are you Sleeping Warrior?
Hey, are we live?
No, not yet. We are recording.
Ah.
You're a bit loud, got a bit of feedback.
Oh, hang on, let me have a look.
And you've got a bit of Eleanor. Lucky old you. That's better.
I think it's just settled. It'll be fine.
I think it is. I think it's just because you just joined.
Do you know what, Nathan? Do you use OBS or do you use Streamlabs OBS?
Hours of tell.
Is the interface grey or is it black?
Grey.
Yeah, you need to up your level, up your game, man. I used to use the grey one, and then I ended up putting that black one on Roxanne's, just because it was accidental. But it's fucking way better, way better.
Why? What's it do?
It's got all the interactivity within the program. So you know, like when you pop out chat and you have it floating in the background. You know what I mean?
When you mean the way I do it is I just share a screen and then I literally physically drop whatever I want onto that monitor and then share the whole section of the monitor I want to share.
I'll have to show you, but it's a lot more interactive, and you'll up your game if you were to use it. And if I show you what you achieve by using it, you might actually think, that's fucking good. So we'll talk about it after at some point, not necessarily right now, but it's you just need to up your level a little bit, and everything transfers over as well, all your settings.
As have you got it, or has just Roxanne got it now? Because if Roxanne's
I had the grey one, and then I realised basically the grey one is what you and I use. She uses the black one, and basically you don't have to. Firstly, you don't have to add yourself an extra source for your microphone. It's already there, which is helpful. But it's just the interactivity in it. It's just way better. You'll massively up your game.
If you say so, I'll have a look at it. If you can get Roxanne to share a screen with me, maybe later, and obviously if she's new to it, it'll help her if we're all looking at it together. But it gives me a chance to actually have a look at it.
Well, I've done it myself. I've got it on mine now.
That's what I was asking. So you've upgraded, so you can do that with me then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Definitely. I'd like to.
Honestly, it's way better. The only thing that's bad about it is you've not got the direct ability to change your transitions like fade or snap or whatever. It's not easy to change the transitions. That's the only downside to it. Basically, you pick a transition and you have to physically change it, and it's not easy to do. I'm sure there'll be a workaround, but at the minute, that's the only downside I've seen. But the benefits are way better.
So
anyway,
what you're saying is, whereas I'll have to do it on screen just so the audience knows what I'm talking about when they watch the pre-record. So whereas I can click fade and just fade or what's this one? Slide. Or what else we got? Or a flash to white, or a blurry. That looks horrible. Okay, I mean, so those buttons have gone, but you just pick which one you want, and then you've just got a transition button, right?
Yeah, I'll show you. If you flick onto, you see my screen now, yeah?
I'll just put you on again. It'd be nice to have this on the recording as we're talking about it. Yeah, I've got it.
All right, so obviously I've not got my green screen up at the minute. It's just I have got my chroma key set, so that's why it looks all a bit weird. But the only downside is this transition button used to have like a layer of them underneath, and you could pick which one you wanted. That's gone now, and I don't know why. I'm going to see if I can find a way to get it back in. But check this out. This is the bit that's really good. I hide this. See these down here? It says test widgets. If you click subscriber, when someone subs, you can put a message on to say that they subbed.
Yeah,
you may find that a hindrance.
I hate it.
Maybe, but if someone donates a super chat, it'll say on screen instead of just being like in the side chat. Alternatively, if someone does a donation that's outside of super chat, you get that. But check this out. You got a little pull across here that is the live chat. That's where live chat would appear, and then you can just get rid of it. Dead quick and easy. But you've also got obviously you understand how all these things work. Nothing's different here. But you got this tab up here called dashboard, and all you do is you just click into it, and then click on your subscribers, and it tells you like in the last 24 hours or the last 7 days or whatever when people have been subbing to you and by how many people. Now, obviously, you can see what the effect is if you go on, say, for example, Jeranisms, and you can see that you get 87 subs and it spans over the hours, then you can see clearly that going on Jeranisms was really good. But like, there's just a lot of interactivity that's not there currently on OBS, and obviously, like, I just find that it's way better, way more immersive. I know you might hate some of the elements to it, but the elements that are in it that you've not got are better, I think. And I would just say, just consider it, because it just gives you the ability to be a lot more interactive.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll check it out for sure.
Definitely cool. Oh, by the way, you can do when you sort of put up your advert, you can do your advert from within the program as well, so you don't have to go find the Creator Studio link. And record button does an off-air hangout so that you can do the Premiere with one button. I just find it really easy to use. It's boss, mate. Am I still here?
You are. My kid's just doing her alphabet.
That's okay.
I'm still here too. Hey, hey, Anthony, how did you create your graphic yourself, or did you pay somebody, or did you have somebody help you with it, or what happened?
I bought it.
We bought it.
It was about £4. Hang on, what do you mean when you say graphic? Do you mean the background?
Yeah, the background.
Yeah, it was £4. You just buy them and then upload them as a theme, and then you populate it all around that. It's really cool.
Hey, when you say okay, I'm American, so you have to say what quid is. Is that pounds?
Dollars.
Pounds? Okay,
There,
dollars.
yeah, the exchange rate is about the same as a quid is a dollar almost.
Okay, okay. I thought
It's
that's
not
what you
quite a
meant.
dollar. It's a little stronger than a dollar, but it's not that much. It used to be $1.50, but it's about $1.02 now.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Oh dear. Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you're new to this channel, or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate forum to keep up to date with the community Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon, and crypto link in the info box below this video. Most importantly though, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using stock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Sleeping Warrior and Paul. Good to have you both.
Woohoo!
Hello.
Nathan.
Hello.
Got a little bit of drama.
Oh yeah.
A little bit of drama in a good way though, unexpectedly.
Go on, fill us in.
I'm gonna have to give props to a ball earther.
Yeah?
Audio guy.
So Sean.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
actually done a decent video for once. I'm not going to give credit because I can't possibly give Sean, audio guy Hufford, credit. But I don't know what's going on, but he's obviously had a back and forth with Antonio for whatever reason, and he's actually dedicated a MIDI file, one of his like reprocessed MIDI file things. I don't know, I'm not sure what they're called, but he resamples them and makes them up or something, and he puts his own words to it and makes it like a parody. And it's all about Patricia basically being fab, and it's like, oh my god, unexpected. So a rare shout out for Sean, audio guy Hufford. He's still dishonest, but at least he's done something constructive this time, and he's done something worthy of credit. Shut up! Right, they've been dead quiet all morning, and now for some reason I've gone live with you, and they've just started fighting with me. Pack it in. I'm gonna have to go on mute. But anyway, kudos to audio guy for doing something constructive for once.
Shout out retracted. Any signs of curvature?
Well done. No signs of curvature.
Any signs of axial rotation?
Definitely no signs of axial rotation.
Shout out to Miguel Perez for smashing the super chat. Really appreciate your support. Any signs of scientific evidence of gravity?
What is gravity, Nathan? They can't make their mind up. I've heard Rumpus describing it as a force of attraction between masses that manifests itself in Einsteinian principles as a force, and it's garbage. Gravity, according to the current science, is maths. Nothing more. No forces, no attractions, no Cavendish. It's just maths. So whatever gravity is, according to Einstein, it's just a bit of maths.
Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
We need to establish that the sun is a physical, tangible object that we can measure, triangulate. You can't triangulate the sun.
Take that as a no. What about any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth? Shout out to Colin Turner for the super chat.
Still waiting for Paul Voigt on that one. He claims that we're too dumb and he doesn't want to give us the evidence. So Paul Voigt's apparently got it, but he doesn't want us to have it. So apparently knowledge is special and he doesn't want us to have it. So we're all dumb.
Any evidence that you can have a gas pressure without a container?
got to be a moron if you think you can have gas pressure within a vacuum.
Have I covered this one already? Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
Yeah, Paul Voigt one, wasn't it?
Is that I've covered that one? In fact, that's
we've
it then,
done that.
isn't it? Other than R value, any evidence of the R value?
No, the only evidence of an R value that we can get is the distance from the North Pole to where the sun is at high noon, and that's about as far as we can get it. That works on both models.
That's pretty much it then. That concludes the housekeeping.
That was really easy when there's not other people on the panel to discuss things. A shame. Nathan, what are we going to do about these ballers? Do you think we'll have to start taking some tactical losses to let them give a chance to come back in again? Because they don't want to be coming in anymore, Nathan. What's going on?
No, we won't be taking tactical losses. This isn't. I don't know. You see this as a game, right?
No, I'm just thinking that like the whole body of science isn't doing particularly well, and I thought it was a really reputable discipline that we should all respect and worship, because all these guys in white coats. But when it comes down to it, and you ask them to prove what gravity is, they're very contradictory, and they give us all these forces and all that. But when you realise what the actual science is, it's maths. Gravity is just a bit of maths. That's all it is. It's a mathematical construct that warps time in with the XYZ axis, basically. That's what Einsteinian gravity is. That's the current science. It's a little bit of maths.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not first. I said this in the pre-show with Paul, back in the day. Say that it's probably only about 2 years ago, but when the debate started, we had tons and tons of globe heads on, and the panel was overrun with obnoxious loudmouth globe heads. So now that the tables have turned a little bit, and it's now predominantly flat earthers that prefer to join because they don't have anything to really present to us to prove their spinning ball religion, I'm quite content with that. That's fine by me. It won't ever change. There'll still be the majority of people out there for the foreseeable future that think we're bonkers, that think we're talking nonsense. And as the ebb and flow of the conversation drifts slightly further away from flat Earth, like it did yesterday when we were speculating about the moon, there's going to be someone out there that tunes in at that moment and goes, what a bunch of nutters, let's set these guys straight. And they'll come in, they see the link, they come in. It's happened several times.
Yeah.
While there might be a proportion of scientifically literate people that are put off when they see a chemist come on and have his ass handed to him, that's short-lived. People are fickle. They've got short memories.
I've got a dog in my arms like a baby, but she's scratching hell out of my leg, saying, "Pet me, pet me, pet me." Yeah, I think what we need to remind people is that this gas pressure point is the easiest one for everybody to understand. It's got no good answer on the ball Earth model, and it hasn't got any supporting evidence for it. Zero. So it appears that the ball Earth model for the gas pressure point is simply logic and reason. There isn't any evidence to support the point that's being made, however you want to describe it. But what we need to see is demonstrable evidence, because according to their model, we live in a gravity environment. There is a force pulling something down. We want to see a gas pressure without a container that is disequilibrium. Show that there is a gas pressure with gravity that we have, and show it. Demonstrate how you can have a gas pressure with disequilibrium, because we have a pressure, it's 14 psi roughly. So let's see a demonstration of 6 psi in 14 psi and don't have a container. And we all know that that's not going to happen. Even if you had 13 psi, we know that that's not going to happen as well. So I don't know how best to describe this other than this 1 point kills the ball so bad that Conspiracy Cats knows that he's knackered, but he still defends it. And I don't think we should lose this point. I know that there's been this thing to do with 15 degrees gyroscopes where basically they're claiming that Bob proves the rotation of the Earth. Yeah, they ignore the second part, but let's not lose track of the main point. You can't have gas pressure without a container. Literally that simple, because where does it come from? And the explanations are basically pseudoscience. And yeah, they may sound logical, and yeah, they may sound reasonable. There's zero evidence to prove that they're true. Logic and reason is not proof. Logic and
Travis.
reason is not the standard.
Hey, Travis.
What?
You say hi to me?
Yeah.
Hey. Put the horn down.
I didn't hear you. What?
Pull your horn down. Give us a good pop on the horn.
Nah, I'm just driving my car.
Oh, okay. I bet your car goes meep. That's better than I thought. At least it's a two-tone.
A couple of shout outs. After this show ends, if you are watching this on Nathan Oakley 1980, I'm hoping that I will time it such that when this debate finishes for the Nathan Oakley 1980 audience, immediately after, the Uncurved show will start over on Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes with myself and Patricia Steer, the co-host of that show. So check out Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes and tune into my wonderful show with my co-host Patricia Steer. Fantastic fun for all. Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes, 10 p.m. UK time, hopefully just after this debate finishes. Also, on Sunday, I'm going on Globebusters. So, Globebusters, I actually approached them about talking to them about this very subject, and Bob was kind enough to say, come and discuss it on Globebusters, and I very quickly accepted. Stressful, this will be, extremely stressful. I've done it once before. I think you were there, actually, Anthony, when we had this conversation with John Savage. Do you remember? About gyroscopes.
Why is it going to be stressful?
Well, because I've got to tell Jaron and Bob that they're wrong in their assertions, in their logical formulation, in their claims of experimentation. They're wrong, and that's.
I think they know it. I think they know that they're wrong, though. I don't think that's going to be too contentious. I think you might be underestimating how accommodating they'll be to that. They'll get it.
I know they're saying it themselves to a small degree already, Jaron more than Bob. So yeah, I get that. But by the same token, you know, it's a useful opportunity when, you know, this is being claimed to be proof from the other side. In other words, the observation that they have gone through and then either not or have, I don't know, I haven't kept up with the politics of what's going on with the actual information itself. There's some idea that he's withheld it, Bob, that being, I don't know what the hell that means. It doesn't mean anything anyway. You know, it's not scientific evidence of anything. It doesn't prove anything. It's not empirical. But the people that are using the same formulation of a logical fallacy on our side, when the assertion doesn't work out, the assertion just seems to be stolen and a new logical fallacy formed, affirming the consequent, of course, and it's just used by the opposition. It's like, well, it was a logical fallacy when it was being used by Bob. It's a logical fallacy when it's being used by you, Johnny Globehead. So, unfortunately, these gyroscopes aren't proof. They've never been proof. They're no more proof than a Foucault pendulum or a set of Cavendish balls, and we rip those to pieces on a daily basis almost. So,
but they are indicative, though. They're not proof, but they are indicative.
You can extract logical deductions from things that have no connection to other things if there's a correlation. So you can take the correlation of a 15-degree turn of the stars in the sky and claim that it's cause for the gyroscope to turn. Well, you can claim that, but there's a way of actually proving it, isn't there, Anthony?
Proving the cause, yes. But we all realise that you can't manipulate the rotation of the Earth within science to prove that it is the cause of the sunsets.
Clearly not, Anthony. Otherwise I wouldn't be going on Sunday, would I?
So the issue is, well, if we're not able to be God ourselves, how do we then prove the Earth rotates?
Right. So Andres Ace gets a shout out because he published something that pretty much made me feel sick. A guy on some YouTube channel with bazillion subs talking about the scientific method. But his method was the modern astrophysicist's method of basically observing a phenomena and drawing a conclusion and then ruling out possible correlations that aren't the great correlations. And then the closest correlation becomes a theory. And I was just outraged by it. I was like, what the hell is this? So this is literally the verbalization of the hijacking of real science. This is some guy saying, not pointing out that there is an empirical method, that science is a way of proving things, pointing out that it's a way of discounting correlations by observation. You're like, this is the method used by pseudoscientists. And sure enough, 2/3 of the way through the video, roll on the pseudoscience astrophysicists and their conclusions about the observed phenomena in the sky. You're like, oh, what a shock. So this is the bastardization of an empirical method to mean what men say.
Yeah, I agree. I just want to give an update on the education situation. Currently, the position is that they've told me to change my topic, and I've said no. I haven't heard directly back from the university after telling them no, and they got the information on Friday. So it's now it's almost we're coming up towards a week after me telling them no, because obviously now it's Thursday, 6 days later, and they haven't come back to me yet. So they're obviously planning something. They're not. There's something else that's happening here because I don't think they've accepted my position. But in the meantime, I've been offered a conditional acceptance on a PhD course at a different university. Obviously, if this happens, you graduate from one, you go to another, it's common. But with this now having a conditional acceptance, the condition is that I obviously pass the course. And I produce my transcript from my undergraduate degree, which I've got to go back to 2003 and get a historic record, which actually wasn't computerized back then. It was physically printed off and archived. So I've had to find the archives department and pay them 10 quid just to go and physically retrieve the physical paper, right? They don't have electronic copies going back that far. There are physical copies. Now, they've offered me a conditional place on producing that, which won't be a problem, but it's going to create a problem if they kick me off this course. So as and when this current university teacher issue, if it starts going bad, then I'm just going to flip that out of my wallet like a Batman, like a police warrant card. Go, whoosh. So there you go. There's my conditional offer. If you kick me off this course, you're going to jeopardize that. That's actionable in court because you're going to have to make sure that you actually are correct. And I haven't got any disciplinary issues. I just want to critically write a challenging paper on a topic of my choice, and they just don't seem to want me to do it. But now I've got an acceptance or a conditional acceptance for a different university course from a different institution on the same topic that I'm writing about now. It's not going to help them if they kick me off the course because another university of a higher caliber or a higher course is basically saying, yeah, you can get on if you can prove that you've got your degree from 2003. So shout outs to the education system.
If they kick you off the course, that's equivalent to failing?
I think that would be considered extenuating circumstances for the PhD. I think that if I tell them that it was the same proposal for them as it was for the masters, I think perhaps they may allow me on anyway, because they're going to kick me off without my work being questioned. So I don't know whether I will or not, because technically I would fail to meet the minimum requirements for the course. But if I'm failed to meet the minimum requirements on the topic that I'm writing the paper on, that they've given me a conditional acceptance on, then that may well be good reasons to let me on. It may not be. I may not actually get on it, but it's definitely interesting that they've given me a conditional acceptance subject to proving my transcript, and which isn't going to be a problem, I don't think. But also that I pass this current course, because obviously you need to pass the course, but if they kick me off it, I can't pass it. But if they kick me off it for doing the proposal that they've accepted, then they should really let me on it. But I'll have to appeal the process. I'll have to go through that like gratuitous, extenuating circumstances thing that you have to go through if you don't get the grades and argue my case. So I may get it, but probably won't. But at least it doesn't stop it completely. But it's definitely interesting to play one university off against the other. Shout outs to the universities.
Hey, Chocolate.
Good morning, guys.
Mooning.
Hey, like the Fonzie.
Yeah, that was it.
What's up, guys?
Just shouting out the education system for being in a state of disarray because they can't handle somebody challenging the teachings of the Copernican model. They don't like it.
Poor guys.
So, Nathan, just one correction as well. I think Anders Ace. I don't think Anders Ace is a he. I think Anders Ace is a she.
Okay, my bad.
No way. Can't be. I've been saying what's up, dude, for the longest time. Like, he would have corrected me by now.
I believe so. It was. I only found it out recently though, so I think it's allowed.
That's
No,
funny.
Tony, what the fuck are
Oh
you
no,
talking about?
Anders Ace says no, Tony. What the hell? Oh, I thought. Oh right, apologies. Shout out retracted. I thought that it was female. I didn't realise it was male. Sorry. I don't know why I thought it was female. I thought that it came from
That's what
Ranty.
I was dying because I was like, what is he talking about?
I'm blaming
That's
Ranty.
funny. Yeah, let's blame Ranty. I could do that.
Right, the
That's
postman's
Ranty's
here
fault.
and my dog's about to go berserk, so I'll stick myself on mute a sec.
Could do some shout outs. Shout out to Andres Ace, Captain Capslock, Ski Bob, Auntie This, Michael Jordan. Thanks for being here. Good to see you all. Faded. Nice to see you. 1.5 volt. Thanks for being here. Fish. Good to see you. Colin Turner. Thanks again for the super chat. Really appreciate it. John Watson. Nice to see you. Plainer Earth lovers everywhere. Nice to see you. Rune Thornton. Good times for all. Hello. Wolverine 314. Hello. Seek and Find. Nice to see you. CGI Ranty. Good to have you here. Cam Eturk. Hello. Another Nathan Oakley. Nathan Oakley, the Flat Earth Messiah. Ah, fair enough. Hello. Is it because I is flat? Said in English. Is it because I is flat? Good to have you here. Anybody? Pat, hello. Be here in love. Hey Zozo, nice to see you. D Marble, good to have you here. Any more for any more? Dax already had a shout out. Pretty much it. Good to have you all. Thanks for being here. Super smash the super chat. Oh, there's another one. Blue Nose and Steve. Just getting in at the end. All gone very quiet. So if you want to join the panel, there is a link in the info box below this video. Feel free to mute the page you're currently watching, click the link and share your views on the shape of the Earth. A surprisingly calm panel for the last few days. See who disturbs the peace. Gotta be someone.
Please, somebody prove the ball so I can find something else to do.
Yeah, same here.
Come on, Glovers. Come and prove this sphere already so, all us flat earthers could just go away and find something else to do. Like, come on, let's go. What are you guys waiting for?
I'll give us something to talk about maybe because it relates to the topic earlier about the gyroscope. I can't remember who did it, but been probably a couple of years ago, but did the, set the gyroscope up and watched it for who knows how many hours. But then he showed on where he would move the table and shows how the gyroscope would, stay in its relative position, but rotate kind of, I don't know if you don't know what I'm trying to describe, but how it would show that it would stay in position as it rotated around the table. Wouldn't that be some level of control as it's showing that if there's rotation, you should see this happening, or that still falls outside that category? Something to talk about. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, the Foucault claim is that the pendulum drifts because the Earth is turning underneath. If it's fixed in its reference frame, and that reference frame is separate to the Earth turning underneath it, then you should see drift. That's the claim.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So, but if it stays stationary, then if there's no drift, that means there's no movement. Correct?
That's the claim, but that's a formal logical fallacy, isn't it? If the Earth is turning, then we will see gyroscope drift. We do see gyroscope drift, therefore the Earth is turning. Same applies to ether turn. If the ether is turning, then I will see drift on a gyroscope. I see drift on a gyroscope, therefore the ether is turning. Just a formal logical fallacy.
What about if it's stationary, if it doesn't move, like if the gyroscope stays in position, so that it would also apply for non-movement?
That's what people like John Savage have observed with mechanical gyros, that they don't move a smegging inch.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Okay. That's why I wanted to just unpack it. That way people have an understanding. But even I don't fully understand that, so that's why I'm asking for even my own clarity.
I mean, they have a practical application, don't they, gyroscopes? You know, they're used in aviation, so you can make logical deductions based on their practical application. It's not science, but it's perfectly reasonable logical deduction.
Right.
You know, the planes wouldn't function the way they did, knowing what you know about the operation of a mechanical gyroscope, if it wasn't traversing a flat plane. But that's a realistic deduction based on the application of a device. Again, not science, but very real, and people's lives depend on it. Far from being a formal logical fallacy, if they didn't do that, people would die. So it's quite critical that they remain level. The planes, that is. Level. Right? Level with the ground.
Right. So there's a functionality. It's like, so there's a functionality to see that there's a connection. So functionally, it works that way. We trust it because it works, kind of thing, right?
I mean, the reverse would be true. It wouldn't be a logical fallacy if what you observed was self-evident. In other words, if the Earth was turning, and it was in fact self-evident that that was the case, we'd have, obvious occurrences of things like Coriolis effect. Now, that being the case, you can then say, well, that's observably bloody obvious that we're turning. Therefore, it's not a stretch to start with that premise. But it isn't. It's not observably obvious that we're spinning. It's not observably obvious that the Earth is curving away from us in all directions and we're at the top of a sphere-shaped ball Earth. None of these things are observably obvious, and we're even told by the high priests of heliocentrism quite the reverse, which is to say that stuff is flat. We can't see curve from any altitude. So, if these things are observably obvious, it's understandable that people start with those axioms, but they're not.
Good points. I thought that would create more discussion, but I guess it just kind of went nowhere. You answered it good for me.
Well, no, it's good that it kind of comes to a close relatively quickly, because that's the exact subject I'll be discussing on Globebusters. So that's the topic at hand. I hope it will branch into what actually is science. But in terms of what we've just discussed, what was that, 3 minutes? That's probably my bit on Globebusters done and dusted. I'll no doubt be there for the full 3 or 4 hours, but ultimately speaking, my bit won't take long.
I'm sorry, I had to jump off. I got something I got to do real quick. I'll still be here and I can still listen. I just can't talk very much right now.
Yeah, I've got to write an email. Who have we got in? Do I need to be watching Backdoor? Oh no, we got Chocolate. We got Travis.
Would help though, just in case.
Yeah,
Okay.
You never know if it's the calm before the storm.
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
All right, I'll watch the Backdoor.
I'm on my phone and I'm at work, so I can't do any of that right now.
That's okay. What was
Where's
supposed to be?
Arwen?
Oh yeah,
Is
Hangouts.
Arwen still live?
Are we still live?
No, Arwen.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, why wouldn't we be?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't check to see if he was on today.
Yeah, we're still live. I hate it when people say that, because I have to frantically panic and go, is something gone wrong? Have I pressed a button by mistake? No, everything's cool.
No, I'm just preoccupied by a letter that's just come through the door that I just can't help myself with excitement, so I'm gonna have to go and do a response to it.
No, Nathan, I wasn't talking about you. I meant Arwen. I was asking if Arwen is still live.
Oh, my bad.
What I'll do, Nathan, is if you shout me if there's a potential bogey coming into the chat, I'll keep the window open, but I'm not going to be actively watching it. So just tell me actively if someone joins that needs to be removed, so I can just divert my attention to it. So basically, trolls, if you're going to try and attack the show, now's the time to do it, because this is the weak moment. But you will not stop us. Rah.
They ain't doing nothing.
Nah.
I like how Jose, if the panel's full, will say, circle jerk. Whereas when the panel's relatively empty, half full, I should say, not a word from him.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Jose, thanks for the tip-off about Sean's video. Appreciate that. It was a decent video, that. I've not seen a good video of Sean's for a long time, and finally he's done one.
If your link is broken, just refresh the page. Should work. I'll watch the chat. If somebody else still says it's broken, I'll double check it, but it should be fine.
I thought of a topic we could probably discuss. I mean, it's flat Earth related, but not specifically to the evidences. But is there a danger because most of this discussion is going on YouTube and it's not going on in? I mean, there's obviously social media like with Facebook and stuff like that, but that it's not getting into like more other areas. That it's only seems like it's happening and only in the social media environment. Is there ways to kind of? I know we could talk individually to people, which was taking it out of social media, but pushing it into other arenas.
Name one or name a couple. What arenas?
Well, more like it's truly a university. So I know Anthony's working on it now with his. But is there any other ways to maybe push it into the academic or school system, or I don't know? I guess the academia is the only place that could really go, unless you're just talking to people individually about it. So, is there any other ways we could probably push it into academia, force them to force their hand? You know what I mean?
No. I mean, would you say that we've got the biggest base covered, though, in terms of the amount of people you can reach by this format? Potentially people you can reach, I should say.
Well, that's true. I remember something a while back about even like the search engine bubble. You probably heard that term before, which means if Google and everybody remembers what your searches are, and it limits what you see. Like like even you were noticing, like most of my videos on YouTube are just flat Earth related. That creates a search engine bubble. And ways to break out of that, keep out of that. I don't know.
Yeah, search without cookies or whatever. Use a VPN. Just try and appear anonymous in terms of how you search, so that you get a bit more random information rather than totally just related to all your cookies. Hey, Flat and Earth.
Hi.
Good to have you.
You came in without me talking about God. That's pretty crazy. Or a designer. That's pretty good.
Yeah. It's just your voice. I told you that before.
Hey, Jose. Good to have you.
Wow.
Hey. I just wanted. Hey, hello everybody. I just joined for a few guys in the chat that they say they cannot join the show. Two things. I use the link on the description box. That's number one. And number two, I joined from an Android phone. So I open the browser on the Android browser. I search for YouTube desktop mode, and then I search for the channel. Once the channel open in the desktop mode in the Android phone, then I click the link and boom, I'm here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Saves me messing around checking the link. But yeah, it does occasionally work for an iPhone. I've managed to get on a few people's shows with the iPad or iPhone just by clicking the link when they've given it me. Because there is no Android desktop mode on an iPhone. But there we go. So it does occasionally work. You just keep trying. Occasionally you'll get
I don't know how Chocolate does it. How do you do it, Chocolate? How did you join? You just click the...
I usually copy the link into my browser and then just hit it and it goes in. But I have to be, for some reason, because I have an Android, I have to be logged out before I do it. So when I put the link in, like I'm already logged out, and then once I put that link in and I click it, it'll give me the option to log in, and then once I hit that, and then it just takes me into Hangouts. Might sound a little complicated. I had to figure it out so that I can come in, because I couldn't do it straight from Skype, and sometimes it gives me a problem straight from YouTube. So.
Hey, but we got to figure it out. So Michael Jordan and others in chat, if you want to make it work from Android phone, Google it, bro.
Well, make sure, first of all, do they have Hangouts? Like, I mean, do they have everything they need? No, guys, work it out. Try, if it doesn't work, try logging out first and then going into the link, and then if it gives you the option to log in, that might work. I don't know if it'll work for everybody or nobody, but it works for me. So try it out, guys.
You can still do it on your Android phone if you go in and change the setting in the browser from the mobile option to a desktop option in the browser. I was able to get in fairly easily just doing that, just clicking on the link. And
That's what I did right now. Yeah, I searched for YouTube on the internet, and on the options, I click on desktop mode. That's what I mean, the desktop mode on the Android, and just click the link.
Yeah, but I don't even have to switch to desktop mode or anything. I take the link, I copy it, I put it into my browser, and once I click that, after I make sure that I'm logged out of Google, once I click it, it just takes me right into Hangouts, and then I log in. That's it.
Are you there,
Anyway.
Anthony? Hey, can you hear me, Anthony?
Yes, I can.
A couple of days ago, you told me about a Red Rhetoric video. Is it worth me appealing to the audience to see if anybody downloaded it?
Which I can't remember what video you're on about.
You dropped me a line and said, have you seen the latest Red Rhetoric video? Of course, my answer was no, I don't watch that garbage. However, when you said, oh, he's removed it, suddenly that piqued my interest. Because before you told me that he'd removed it, you explained that he had claimed that a rocket launch proved the vacuum of outer space. And I was like, all right, okay, got to see this then.
All right, let me elaborate. I was told by a sub that Red Rhetoric was live now talking about gas pressure and how you can have a gas pressure without a container. And then time had lapsed, and then he said, oh my God, he's using rockets to explain it. Now, that's the third party hearsay evidence that's the authority that I got. When I went to look at the video, it was gone. So although he may have addressed it in some way, I don't know how accurate the citation is. But if anybody has a copy of the Red Rhetoric Hangout where he's now deleted, something to do with gas pressure, rockets and shit like that, let's have a copy of it, because I want to see what he said. He's a bit of a slippery sucker.
Yeah, I saw it. It might be a way I might be able to get it to you. I got to see if the guy still has it on his channel. I have to give me a little bit, though.
I'm just looking. I don't see it anywhere on his channel.
Yeah, you won't find it by searching. It's gonna require somebody to have intentionally downloaded it, like Ranty did last time he made a cock up, and that was just very, very funny. I mean, the fact that Ranty snagged it last time caught Jaren's attention, and literally the following day, Ranty was on an interview with Jaren talking about it.
Because what happened was, I think that happened in the middle of a debate that he was having with somebody. So I'm going to see if I can contact the guy, see if it's cool for me to post it or share it with you guys.
Well, that basically these ballers can't deal with this gas pressure issue, so they need a distraction. And at the minute, Bob's on the receiving end of said distraction. They need desperately to get away from this point, and Bob's the target this time. Could have been me, could have been Nathan, could have been anybody, but on this occasion, it was Bob. And they're all making this big song and dance over this thing with Bob, which even if, let's just say for argument's sake, that they're right? Let's just give it them. Let's deal with the gas pressure, because that's the thing that kills the ball. You can't have gas pressure in a vacuum. And we all know it. We all understand it. You guys can't demonstrate it, can't prove it. It's just bullshit.
I've been asking a few people in chats whether or not they believe ballers, obviously, whether or not they believe in the sky vacuum, just to gauge their reaction, see how in their minds they qualify that. Because it's absolutely the case. You point up at the blue sky and you go vacuum. That's if you're a heliocentric believer. But it's weird how people have, I don't know how, I'm hoping over time we'll figure out how the programming has managed to do this, but how people have a disconnect between looking up at the sky and recognising that their religious belief is that the sky is a vacuum, because there is a disconnect. In other words, several people have said, no, I don't think the sky is a vacuum. Outer space is a vacuum. It's like, oh, right, so what am I pointing at then when I point at the sky? I'm not pointing at outer space. It's in all directions. So, yeah, I'm definitely pointing at what you think is a vacuum when I point at the sky. You just don't think it's actually where space is? Or what? because, like I say, I don't know where that cognitive lapse occurs. I'm hoping to find out, because then I can take the piss out of it.
I think I stand my ground that I used to say it might not even be a vacuum, like a negative pressure system, but I used to think it has to be a very low pressure system. And that's kind of the explanation of the boilers. That is a very, very low, it has some whatever molecules of air or something like that system. So I think that's what it is, a very low system. It's not necessarily a vacuum.
Yeah, David, we were all in agreement about that bit because we experience it though, Jose. The bit isn't. That's not the bit that's the issue. The issue is the bit beyond that bit that you've just described, which would be a vacuum. 10 to the minus 17 torr.
Yeah, because the 10 to the minus 17 torr is what the rocket scientists in quotes say that the space of vacuum is, and they build all their rockets and stuff, right? But I mean, what if that's a lie? It's not a 10 to the minus 17 torr. It's just a very low pressure system. That's maybe one of the things that we have been lied to about what the composition of the outer space is. It's maybe not even a vacuum or whatever. It's some kind of other matter that we are not aware of.
But that creates all
that
kinds
might
of
be
other problems.
That might well be the case, Jose, but absolutely without question, it's the linchpin of the heliocentric system. It's absolutely got to be a vacuum. That's what it is. That's what space is.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, definitely. And I'm gonna get yelled at by some of the ballers whenever I jump in one of their Discord or panels because whatever they want me to just learn the right way. But screw it, I'm me, and I got my own brain on this.
Yeah. You just look up at the sky vacuum and know in the back of your mind that there's priests visiting it. You'll never visit it, but your priests will visit it, and they'll even bring you back some nice little pictures of it. Aren't they kind? They come back from the second law of thermodynamics violation with a few pictures, and everyone goes, ah, yeah, the sky must be a vacuum then. Look, my priest is there. Back in the day... Sorry, go on.
Right. So at least some of the space agencies are doing something good because most of these communication system that we are working on today, the technology we're talking through, it comes from mostly the space agencies. It could be freaking loony Google Looney Tunes thing, loony balloons, but still they're doing something. They're helping us with the communication system.
Yeah.
How are they doing that?
I don't know. Some people say is the actual how do you call satellites? Some people say it is helium balloons. Some people say it's drones, some kind of different tech. But we are being given a way to communicate to each other.
Can you trace for me how my call now that I'm making across the internet goes through a satellite? Can you trace that process?
Not me. I don't have the equipment or the technology to do it, but maybe some people can.
I learned something today. I actually work for a telecom company here locally. And I actually discovered something today, which I kind of knew, but it actually got confirmed. Like one of the biggest providers here in Tennessee is AT&T. And you probably have, everybody holds no cell phone service, but they also do our major telecom process. The company I work for actually connects from our service to AT&T and moves on from there. And it's all done fiber optically. So like from our service and where we service to, it goes through the neighborhoods fiber optically and connects to AT&T, and then wherever AT&T goes from there. So as far as I can tell, you got a cell service to fiber optic and then a fiber optic across the country. I don't know of any satellites involved in this process, and obviously there's fiber optic cables that's probably causing me to be able to talk to Nathan and Anthony in the UK. There's no satellites involved. It's all fiber optic. So now you could say the science has done that, or the space agencies have created the fiber optic, but I don't know. I don't know
That's
the research
technology,
area.
though, isn't it? That's not science.
Right, exactly. So
There's a difference between science and technology. Would you like a citation?
Oh, go for it. Go for it. Bring it up. Let's see it.
That's why
it's
I
a
was
really
clear. I didn't say science. Yeah, I say technology.
Yeah, because it's always good to bring up a citation for the difference between science and technology, because to be fair, we all get it wrong. We all think that science and technology are interchangeable, but they're not. GLY. I don't know what that is. I'll put a link. I'll give Nathan a link. It says what science is not. Science is not technology. One of the mistakes that many people make in thinking about science is to confuse it with technology. As a result, science can often receive undue credit for the miracles of modern science in the kitchen, or undue blame for everything from overly firm tomatoes to a nuclear war. In fact, science does not make things. Scientists develop the understanding of radiation sufficient for the invention of the microwave oven, but neither making the microwave oven nor using it are science. So think about that in the context of seismology. Scientists are in the business of generating knowledge, whereas engineers are in the business of generating technology. In short, science often leads to technology, and it often uses technology, but it is not technology, and in fact can operate quite independently of technology. In other words, science is not the use of the technology. That's the key point to make. I'll give Nathan the link in the side chat. Spam that, Nathan. Spam it.
And the best way to deceive somebody is to mix a little truth with a lie. So NASA could be getting data through balloons, through high altitude aircraft, and that data is legitimate. But that they take that one piece of truth to legitimize the lie. So, saying these space agencies done that, well, that may be true, but that doesn't legitimize everything they've done.
Shout out to those who say my voice, the sound of my voice is boring. Thank you very much. I know it's boring, but at least my broken English make it fun. Thank you.
Yeah, and how many languages can you speak, guys? Jose, you meant to agree with me.
Indeed.
Two.
Yeah.
I actually speak two. I speak American and Southern. So right now I'm trying to speak American, but then I can speak Southern.
If you speak properly, you speak English too.
I speak like 17. I speak like 17 because all the Spanish different slangs that I speak.
Riley, you there?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you the video on your Skype. You're gonna have to go through it. I don't have a timestamp for you. But what happened is Reds took the video off his channel, but the guy he was debating, Space is Fake, he actually put it on his channel. So,
sweet.
Yeah, but
I'll have
you're
to
gonna
listen to it.
it's gonna have commentary though because they're watching it from another hangout. You understand?
Oh yeah,
So,
I get you.
So I'll send it
that's
to
a
you,
shame.
and you're gonna have to do the search for that part. All right?
That's
So
cool.
I'm gonna send it to you right now. And I got permission from the guy himself, so we're all good.
Okay, so it's Red Rhetoric's hangout, but with them commenting about it. So we might be able to hear the section that we want. We might not.
No, you can hear the whole thing. The audio's not great, but you'll be able to hear him and Reds go back and forth, and you'll definitely be able to see the video that he was displaying, the rocket video that he was displaying for his proof. So I'll send it to Riley right now.
Ace.
Copy that. Hold on. Give me a few.
So I heard Neil deGrasse Tyson. Oh no, Neil deGrasse. Shit. Alex Jones was in the Joe Rogan podcast, and Eddie Bravo was in, or something like that. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I saw a bit of it on Red Pill Philosophy's channel.
Yeah, I bet they talk about a lot of conspiracies. I bet it was 75% talking wobbly about nonsense and a little bit of truth in between.
Oh, I got turned off of Alec Jones years and years and years and years ago because of just his rants, and he gets mad, which is fine, but at the same time, it loses to me. It loses his audience to me. I was like, oh, that's when I watched some of it. I was like, really? Okay, this is not a productive discussion going on here.
Alex Jones just seemed like a baller troll talking over Eddie Bravo, and then turned it into a rant about babies. So it just railroaded the conversation. Basically, that was the section I saw, at least.
I think Eddie should have taken him up on the option for him to pay for an expedition, because then we could prove that it's closed, that we can't go there.
Could all be a ruse. You just don't know where Alex Jones really stands in reality. So,
Oh, I agree.
So far as we're concerned, it might just be a publicity stunt and/or another way of programming people into a false realization about what the North Pole is. So what I would expect to happen if Alex Jones did do what he offered was that they'd go down and have a similar expedition to anybody else who goes to the South Pole. They go, and then they come back, and that would be it. And that would be his expedition. Nothing unusual to see. That would be the answer at the end of it, as they were guided to a specific spot and then guided back out again.
Exactly.
On the other hand, if Alex Jones just did it of his own volition, didn't apply for any permits and just went and was stopped, that would be fantastic, right? Won't happen.
Well, in another subject, what is Dr. Bob? I want to hear Dr. Bob. He's been very active in Discord. He's learning the debate skills, and he's been.
Bob doesn't know anything about the scientific method, yet he preaches science. He's not a very good ambassador for the Ball Earthers. He's becoming popular for some reason. It's probably because he's got the alluring voice, but he thinks that you don't need to have an independent variable in a scientific experiment. Utter moron. But
I want to hear the second round. Yeah.
Riley, did you get that?
I've not looked at the minute. It will be there. Let's have a look.
Check first.
Yeah, I want to hear the second round of Dr. Bob, because he's been practicing a lot.
Rhetoric versus space is fake. So what? Yeah, it's an hour and 40. So let's see if there's a transcript. There is. Let's see, is there... Let's type in find pressure. Right, so 24 minutes in, he says something like, the rocket itself, this shows the rocket went into a vacuum with no area. It didn't vacuum at all. Cold, low pressure area disappears by calling a document. Hang on.
Hey, Deanne.
Right, he's only said.
Good to have you.
He's only said it in. He said the word pressure 8 times, and it's all within a 4-minute period. So what I'm gonna have to do? Let me drop. I'll come back in. I'll go and listen to it, and I'll come back in.
Yeah. I was going to tell you, that's what you should do. Don't do the transcript. Go find the spot, because it's a good amount of time.
I've got it. So I'll drop and I'll come back in. Okay.
All right. Cool.
All right. Back in a bit.
So what was the issue with this red rhetorics? Whatever he's saying. Buddy, did red rhetorics contradict it or something, or what went down?
I think that's kind of what they're trying to figure out.
Got a bit of Bill Hicks nonsense going on in the chat. My little acid test to see who on the panel was a conspiratard, but no one bit.
Is Pitche still alive? I haven't seen him around for like weeks.
I love it. If you're a YouTuber and you don't put out content for more than a week, you're dead, basically. Shame on you, Rune Thornton. Ratio Perfect says Bill Hicks is Arwen.
Arwen is a skinny Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal lost weight. Is Arwen?
See why Arwen likes Alex Jones. They have a lot in common. A horny goatweed.
Yeah, Patricia Steele is an all beautiful redhead woman. I love her. I always do. That was random, but I had to throw it out there.
That gives me a chance to plug the Uncurved show. So if you're watching this on Nathan Oakley 1980, I'm hoping that I will have timed it such that the show will finish. So in a moment I'm going to round out the live show for the live audience, but the after show will continue as ever. And when the after show finishes on Nathan Oakley 1980, should be able to flick across to Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes to watch Uncurved with myself, Nathan Oakley, and my co-host Patricia Steer. So check it out, Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes, 10 PM UK time, if I've messed up the timing of this.
You will be watched.
I hope so. I really enjoyed doing that show. It was at 11, and I've got to be honest, it was a killer doing it at 11 PM UK time, but she very graciously put it back an hour, which makes it a lot easier.
Baby is coming soon, right, Nathan? About a month or 2 months?
About 6 weeks, something like that.
Woohoo, congrats.
Yeah, it's exciting. Another screaming baby. Hopefully this one will sleep. See it at the various creches and groups that I go to, where you've got mothers with more than one kid, and one of them will be a sleeper and the other one won't. Well, I've already had the non-sleeping child, so I'm really hoping the next one sleeps. Yeah, Eleanor basically just takes after me and will end up being exactly the same in respects to her sleep. She'll just be an insomniac like me, I think.
Sorry
Good.
for my giggling.
Somebody wanting to share something? Paul?
Yeah, I think it's funny. I just remember this from Globebusters, and I thought this would be fun just to kind of share. I won't play the sound, so you won't get a copyright strike. But it's supposed to be the first balloon to go up and see the first look at the stars. Did anybody see that?
Yeah, you're sharing the Hangout page at the minute, but yeah.
Sorry. Here we go.
There you go.
Okay. And here I'll just go clips through it. This is like them, doing it through a balloon, setting everything up. They've got a telescope on top of it somewhere. Let me see if I can find the telescope. Yeah, you see the telescope on that one, right? So they're rising up. Let me see if I can find it. Where's it at? Okay, they're rising up. So I'll play it from here. I won't play the sound, but then it flips over to the stars. There's the stars.
Yeah, I've seen this. That's classic. Really top quality.
Exactly. Look, there is actually a star in the moon. Did you see that? There was a star in the moon.
Oh, well, I'm convinced. It's crescent shaped, so yeah, totally sold. Back on a 7-inch CRT TV with a magnifying glass in front of it, that might look quite convincing.
Yeah, I thought that's funny.
That's
and
real footage.
Exactly, that's real footage. And they're not faking space at all. It's not being faked at all.
Hey, Arwen.
Hello.
Good show?
Yeah. Might have another one later.
Did you talk about Alex Jones, Arwen?
Oh yeah.
find out more about that momentarily, because for the meantime I'm going to say farewell to at least the live audience. So if you are watching this on Nathan Oakley 1980, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. But as I say, a massive, huge, enormous thank you to all of you who have tuned into the Nathan Oakley live stream, and of course a massive thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and check out the community forum on nathanoakley.com. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Yeah, or when you don't look fat or overweight now, and you're not a
Not
sheriff.
yet. Neither did he when he was young. Oh wait, it's me.
Yeah, keep raining those super chats the way they're doing, and you're gonna be fat soon. I mean, you're gonna be eating good.
I didn't get any today. And
What?
neither yesterday. Kind of disappointing, but oh well.
They've got
So you
Colin
mean I'm
Turner
gonna
in the
have to
chat.
go into your show so people can offer to give you super chats so you can kick me out of the show? Okay.
They've got Colin Turner in the chat says,
I could do
I don't get this. How can we watch on Nathan Oakley 1980? It's like, well, you can't. The live show is just a section of this show, and then I will rebroadcast what's being recorded now at a later date or later time on Nathan Oakley 1980. So to watch it, obviously you've got to be watching on Nathan Oakley 1980 when I publish it. And as I said, it'll go out just before Uncurved on Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes. So when this after show finishes on Nathan Oakley 1980, probably at about, what time will I start it? Probably about 7:30 p.m. All right, 8:39. No, 8:30 p.m. And then it'll finish at about 10 o'clock with a little bit of luck. And yeah, lead nicely into Patricia's show. But you can't just switch over and watch the recording. That would be impossible, Colin. Thank you for asking. It gave me an opportunity to explain what's going on. Not
You're
that
doing
he can hear,
something right,
not that he
Nathan,
can hear my
because-
reply. You can't hear me, right? Anyway.
Something you're doing right because you haven't even been sniping going on in the last few weeks.
Yeah, you know why.
No, there was one time when Rumpus came in, remember?
Yeah, Rumpus kicked everybody after I kicked him for talking incessantly, non-stop, and then claiming
No,
that I was
Rumpus?
censoring him.
Yeah, Rumpus was back for a moment, but he went away again. I don't know.
I kicked him out for
He,
his
he
behaviour.
said he still had to finish that last 2% of his proof against Riley from last year.
Here's a question for you. Who would you rather, Rumpus or Brenda?
Rumpus any day.
Really? Brenda?
Yep.
Brenda every day of the week. Why would you take Rumpus over Brenda? Brenda's an easier target.
Because Rumpus is much more amusing.
Maybe for you.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Rumpus really makes me laugh and scream. But yeah,
But
Brenda
Brenda's
is just
Extra
just another
specially
one of
stupid.
those.
Don't you think the stupid ones are the funnier?
No.
Oh, I do. I find Brenda much more amusing because of her level of stupidity.
No, I just find that really disappointing.
You know,
It's much more funny when they're really smart and they're still on the wrong side. That's just hilarious.
See, I find it hilarious. About a year ago, Brenda disappeared off the scene for a bit, which she does. She goes into atheist chats and debates other subjects. Good for her. But she came back on the scene just as we'd been arguing for maybe a month, with the globe heads telling us how Google Earth is broken and Google Earth isn't their model, and down with Google Earth. Not us. The globe heads doing that, right? She comes on having ignored all of it, not seen a bit of it, and asserts that Google Earth's their model, their working model. Now, when things like that happen, that to me is just absolutely priceless. You know, having that smashed right in her face. No, I'm afraid not, love. All your compadres are saying it's bollocks. So no, Google Earth isn't your model.
Yeah, that was a good moment. I agree. I remember it.
Yeah, take it up with all the people that have just debunked it on your own side.
One of the smartest globe persons out there, Brenda. Shout out to Brenda.
I detect that
Jose.
sarcasm.
You know what? No, I'm not even.
just
Hey,
joking.
are you saying that Brenda is smarter than you?
Oh, Brenda is smarter than all of us together, all of our minds put together.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't
Now you're
think so
getting
either.
obscene.
I'm being sarcastic.
Isn't this nice? Us reminiscing about old globe heads. But I was going to say, the reason they don't want to come in at the moment, Jose, is pretty obvious to me. You've got people like Jaren and Red Pill taking the heads of globe heads that have been chopped off here and sticking them on a spike for a nice large audience to see. So, you know, Wiggles and Bob and who was the other one that got their head on a spike? Oh, the chemist. You know, if you're watching that from the outside and you're a globe head, what are you going to think? Oh, look, there's a few severed heads of my my teammates hanging on the fence of this debate. No, I think I'll go in.
Yeah, I can kind of agree with that. Yeah.
Get some lunch. I'll be back. 10 minutes.
But this show is addictive. I have to just jump in when I get a chance. Just cannot avoid it. I see it rolling, and I see it, I don't know, like a little bit of a slow pace. I said, let me jump in just in case I can add a little bit of spark on it.
Thank you, Jose. We appreciate that.
With my 5% discrement on my brain, like people say, but I don't care. Just continue being me, keeping it real.
We might round out the after show with something juicy. So Anthony's just sent me a Skype message saying, "Ooh, it's good." Hopefully he'll come back shortly.
It's ridiculous. It's not good. It's ridiculous. But that's what makes it good. So yeah.
Did you guys clean the plane today?
Claim the what?
Did you clean the plane?
Claim the plane?
No, cleaned the plane with housekeeping.
Oh, clean the plane. Yeah, oh yeah. Housekeeping generally. 90% of the shows will do a housekeeping. I'll do it on the beginning of the next one. Now I've got a bigger panel. There's only Paul and Anthony when we did it last time on this show.
I'll be back in 15.
I think this has possibly been the calmest show to date.
It's very relaxing.
Maybe we needed a break.
Yeah, I'm not
Because
complaining.
my bipolar personality, my negative persona didn't came in today. He came the down low Jose today.
No, you're right, Jose. You haven't been a dick at all.
Yeah, host B today.
Because that's what I was wondering. Are you bipolar?
I don't know. I never been in a doctor or hospital, just check on anything. I might be because I feel moody many times.
Yeah. You're bipolar. Yeah.
You're roboting.
Jose, still no bendy water?
I don't like talking about bendy water.
Me too. It's just nonsense.
Yeah, but I might be bipolar, tripolar, because I got depends, on the mood. I get more triggers some days, like big time, and I just speak without thinking ahead on time. And today I feel, relaxed and processing the things that I say correctly.
Yeah, I guess we have that in common because I tend to be moody myself too.
No, you don't have that in common.
Thanks,
Chuck, even when you say things in our triggered version, you're still saying the same things to where Jose is like Jekyll and Hyde right now. I really don't understand where he's coming from this time versus last time. It's very weird. Like two different people.
Remember Jose and Host B, man.
This is how calm and peaceful life will be in 5 years, like the show is right now, when everything's flat and very well known.
Hey Eric, how you doing?
Hey Nathan, how's it going?
Hey Eric, don't you have a degree in psychology?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, maybe you could see what's going on with Jose because he's messed up.
Oh, all right. I haven't been able to listen to what's been going on up to this point, so got to give me some context.
Nah, just diagnose him anyway. Just say he's a nutter.
No.
With a
Yeah, well, I actually don't really. I know you guys are kind of joking around, but I don't really like psychoanalyzing people in that way. I'm kind of like half between like the Thomas Mann. I don't know if you've heard of him. He wrote the book, The Myth of Mental Illness, and I know there is mental illness. I mean, I have family members with it, but I think there's also kind of like a mass hysteria about it. You know, when for instance, multiple personalities started being like detected, all of a sudden it became a fad. Like everybody had it. So I just think there's some things, you know. But anyway, I digress.
So what you're saying is something along the lines of things like Alzheimer's you would definitely class as a mental illness, but maybe when people claim to have schizophrenia, it might not necessarily be the case.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of false positives with things like that.
What if I'm a very, very smart guy and I just want to keep it very dumbed down for people to grasp easier and maybe leave a flatter a little bit of a leadway to kind of keep a head on the race, you know?
But we have the leadway anyway. Jose, you're coming flat again soon. I can see it in you.
Joking aside, though, Eric, I know he's on the panel and we should have the decency to say this behind his back, but you know, I am genuinely intrigued with Jose's current mental state. Not from a point of view that I think he's bonkers. Far from it. In fact, I think he's very normal. But it's an interesting swing that he's taken. Just interesting to analyze.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that. I mean, I think it's just human nature. I think it's easier to accept the consensus and not be, go against the grain. There's a lot of considerations with family and friends and career. I mean, things like that. So there's a lot of things, and I'm not saying this necessarily applies to Jose, but it makes it easier to confirm our own bias when we have those things working against us. It makes it easier to see what we want to see because it's already like, oh, my family is like thinks I'm going crazy and this and that, all these things, and then so it just becomes easier to abandon that. It'd be like, okay, I'm going back to the ball. Like that's just like it's been. God, I got my degree like 7 years ago, and I didn't practice psychology. I worked in a mental institution for like 6 months with really messed up teenagers, and I got injured and like it was crazy. But since like 5 years ago, all I've been doing is writing music and selling it online. So I haven't even been practicing psychology, but so I'm going based on like my best memory of how things were. But that's just the way I see it. Just kind of, yeah.
I see myself in a little bit of a way that I'm giving something to this flatter debate because there was not too many globe proponents that they were producing video footage in favor of the globe, in quotes, presenting evidence for the globe, if you want to see it that way, for people that's watching from the outside point of view. And I still doing the same. I'm not talking in favor of flat earth, but I'm still doing the same as for providing a little bit of footage, more in the bias side because I'm just looking at everything and I'm catching a lot of globe evidence if the way I see it. And I present them on the show. At least I'm still providing footage and it's being talked about and presented to people to see. I don't know. I think it's good.
Well, and
I wish
also
more people do that. Yeah.
it makes me think like we talk about like whether we're dumb or not, like oh he's dumb or somebody's dumb, and I get in the heat of the moment we'll throw these ad hominems around, but I think we should try our best to be looking at it like if we're gonna call each other idiots or whatever like they like to do a lot. So then we have to argue in those terms. Like you call me an idiot, okay? Then I'm gonna show you my IQ score, my college transcripts and all this stuff and whatnot. But I think we should be more like they're ignorant, like you're ignoring things. This is like, and show them this is what you're ignoring, this is what you're not considering. So if we could kind of get away from that, but I know in the heat of the moment it's difficult. But
shout out to Colin Turner for the super chat while the show's off air. Really appreciate it, even though you can't hear me saying it.
And while the footage is presented that I present, my intentions are not to change any of your guys' point of view, because I know you guys are strong in what you stand for, But there's people watching. There's people watching, on the live shows, so people can discern by themselves.
So, Jose, can I ask you a question based on hypocrisy or hypocrite? So,
Yeah.
Although I hear what you say, when I see you in chat, you're definitely trolling, right?
No, not trolling. Just pushing the limits a little bit.
well, and that kind of goes with what I was saying. That
Sorry, can I just sorry to interrupt, Eric. Can I just say that I heard the massive smile on your face when you said that, Jose. I could hear the smile.
So did I. I heard that.
Everybody heard that.
What is trolling?
Let's keep it real, Jose. Let's keep it real. You've done your fair share of trolling.
Getting in good with the globe side, like, hey, I'm trolling them. I'm like, look at me. I'm,
When in Rome, right, Jose?
racking up globe points.
This is good. I mean, I cannot. I mean, you guys know. I mean, I like you guys. I like this crew, so that's why I keep coming. Whatever point of view we have, different or similar or whatever. I like coming in here and presenting a little bit of evidence.
I've got to be honest, Jose. Of the two resident globe heads, you are my favourite. I mean, admittedly, the only other one is Zinda, but still.
Thank you.
Hey, Jose, have you found out why the ballers don't like coming in anymore? Is it still because they're on protest, or is it some other reason?
Because they get shut down. They cannot advance in their presentations. They get called out for the fallacies or the presuppositions, and they don't like that. They would like to present a whole argument, a few minutes to talk, and then the rebuttal. They like the back and forth. They don't like the shut down and no, hold on, and they don't like the semantics.
To be fair, they usually get about maybe 10 words in, and then we have to go, objection, Your Honour. On what grounds? Bullshit. Sustained. Change your line of questioning, counsellor.
And with that, I'm going to say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the audience in Nathan Oakley 1980's premiering stream for tuning in and hopefully sharing this debate. And of course, a massive thank you to all of the debating panel for making this after show possible. Now, if I've timed this correctly, you should be able to tune into Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes for the Uncurved show, which should be starting around about now, pending Patricia's prompt nature, which she doesn't have, so it'll probably be late. We shall see. But hopefully, with a little bit of luck, Patricia's show will be starting at 10 p.m. UK time over on Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes now, so check it out. If you are in need of something because it hasn't started, then check out nathanoakley.com and join the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community Flat Earth debate. I've been Nathan Oakley. I'll hopefully see you in the live chat on Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes Uncurved show, or I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!